Good day mga kabayan, this is Odette Caroline Montalibano, your regulated Canadian immigration consultant based here in Toronto, Canada. And for this episode, ay gusto ko pong mag-share ng isang presentation on the Caregiver Pilot Program and its eligibility requirements. So, paano po ba mag-apply dito sa Canada as a caregiver? Kasi marami pong tayong mga kababayan syempre from the Philippines, yung iba galing from Hong Kong, Singapore, Israel, na nagtatanong po sila kung ano ba ang mga requirements para sila ay makapag-apply as caregiver here in Canada. So, let's start with the genuine job offer. So, yan po ang kailangan ng isang caregiver para mag-apply dito sa Canada. Kailangan po meron silang employer na nangangailangan ng caregiver. So, there are two types of caregivers. Yung isa po ay home support worker na siyang nag-aalaga ng matanda or ng mga magulang or grandparents. And then the other one is the caregiver for children or yung nanny na siyang tagapag-alaga ng mga kabataan, syempre children, di ba? So, genuine job offer. A genuine job offer means kailangan may documentations po na ipakita na ang job offer na binibigay sa caregiver ay tunay at hindi peke. So, example po ng mga documents na pwedeng isubmit with the application are if yung alagaan po ay matanda, doctor's notes, right? Or specialist's notes na kailangan po ng care ng matanda at ang employer po ay full-time na nagtatrabaho kaya kailangan niya ng someone to help with the care of her parents or grandparents. At ganun din po, kung aalagaan ay isang bata, the employer can provide a birth certificate of the child and proof na kailangan niya magtrabaho kaya she needs someone to help with the care of the children. So, for children po, the ages are 17 and below para po ma-qualify ang employer to look for a caregiver. So, kailangan po ang anak niya ay 17 years old and below. So, ngayon na meron na po kayong genuine job offer, the next question is, can you do the job? So, the caregiver has to provide evidence or show proof na kaya niyang mag-alaga ng matanda or ng bata. And this proof can be way of yung mga trainings na natanggap niya in caregiving at ang kanyang work experience, either the current work experience or the previous work experience as a caregiver. So, for training, pwedeng magbigay ng mga certificate of training as caregiver. Pwedeng magbigay ng, kunwari, if nag-train kayo ng basic first aid sa Red Cross, so you need to show that na yung certificate ninyo. For work experience, you can show yung reference letters from your current or previous employers. So, yan po, that is a requirement. Kailangan mapatunayan na the caregiver is capable of performing the duties and responsibilities ng trabaho. So the next requirement is language. So language requirement. So nang binago na po ang program ng 2019, nagkaroon na ng language requirements ang caregiver. So Canada po is bilingual. Our languages are French and English. Pero, bumalik tayo. But for the purposes po ng ating audience na mga kababayan natin, madalas naman po tayo ay aside from Filipino, ang ating pong second language in our educational system and in our courts, in our justice system ay English. Kaya English po ang nilagay ko dito. So yung ating language requirements, the caregiver has to show that kaya niya magsalita at mag-comprehend in English. And she has to take a language test, which can be IELTS General or CELPIP-G. So, sa IELTS General po na language, na English test, ito po ang minimum scores na kailangan makuha ng caregiver natin. So, speaking 5, listening 5, reading 4, writing 5. That is the minimum scores po. If in the event na nakuha ng caregiver na score sa speaking ay 6, sa listening ay 4, sa reading ay 4, at sa writing ay 5, hindi po yon pasado. So, the caregiver should be able to meet the minimum language requirements of each language ability. So, each po language ability. Meaning sa lahat po sa apat na yan, kailangan ma-meet niya ang minimum. So, even if yung speaking test result niya ay 6, pero hindi naman niya na-meet yung listening test na 5 at kasi 4 lang ang naging score niya, hindi po yun pasado. So, kailangan po ma-meet ang minimum requirements for each language ability. So, the other language test is called CELPIP-G. Sa CELPIP-G, ito po ang mga minimum test result na kailangan makuha ng ating caregiver. So, for speaking 5, listening 5, reading 5, and writing 5. Next, the caregiver should also meet education requirements. So, meron na pong education requirements. Ano ang education requirements na kailangan ma-meet ng isang caregiver applicant? So, the caregiver must have completed at least 1 year post-secondary education in Canada or its equivalent when obtained outside Canada. So, ano po ba yung 1 year post-secondary education in Canada? So, 1 year post-secondary education, it means kailangan nakakumpleto siya ng at least 1 year after high school. So, completed, ibig sabihin meron pong diploma. So, hindi po pwedeng undergraduate, walang diploma. Yun po ang i-assess ng mga ating educational assessment organization. So, ito po, get your education assessed, right? Okay, sorry po, meron po tayong caller. So anyways, yes, going back, get your education assessed. So, kung ang education po ng ating caregiver ay nakuha niya sa Pilipinas or, basta outside Canada po na education, kailangan pong ipa-assess sa mga organizations. Ang ginagawa po nito ay tinitingnan kung ano ang equivalent ng ating Philippine education sa Canada. So, kailangan po tandaan natin ang equivalent kailangan ay maging equivalent to 1 year post-secondary education in Canada. So, yun po. Ang kailangan na maging equivalent ng ating education, minimum of 1 year post-secondary education. So, kailangan ang ating pong ipapa-assess na education natin ay yung natapos natin na education. Yung meron tayong diploma at meron tayong transcript of records. So, ang mga organizations po na nagbibigay ng educational assessment ay ito pong Comparative Education Service, International Credential Assessment Service of Canada, World Education Services, at International Credential Evaluation Service. So, I believe yung popular na pinupuntahan ng ating mga babayan to have their education assessed ay yung World Education Services at yung International Credential Assessment Service of Canada or ICAS. Yung dalawang po yun ang popular. So, that's one of the requirements too. Okay, so as a summary, ito na po ang summary ng mga requirements na kinakailangan ng ating mga caregivers outside Canada. So, they need to meet language requirements. They need to meet education requirements. They must have a valid job offer. They should show proof that they can perform the work. And the caregiver intends to live outside Quebec. So, yan po. So, ang ating pong caregiver pilot program ay meron pong cap every year na when it comes to applications, meron lang po siyang limit on how many applications it will take in. So, for 2022, ang home support worker pilot po, open pa rin as of yesterday, right? As of yesterday, I'm sure it's... So, usually po, mas mabagal, ma-fill ang quota ng home support worker pilot program. However, yung home child care provider pilot po ay nag-close na. So, hindi na po tumatanggap ng applications for caregiver for children. Yung mga gusto po mag-apply as caregiver for children, kung kayo po ay nakakita ng employers dito na merong anak na gustong kunin kayo as caregiver, next year na po kayo pwedeng mag-apply. So it will reopen, the program will reopen on January 1st, 2023. So what's good about it is that now you have time to complete your requirements dahil kadalasan po ang feedback is ang mabagal po ang proseso ng pagkuha ng educational assessment. I believe pinakamabilis ang World Education Services, the 2 weeks to 1 month lang po yata. And the other organizations doing it, malaki ang backlog nila. Madami ang backlog nila, and it takes like maybe around 5 to 8 months ang pag-process. So, somehow, this is good for those na wala pang mga requirements. Ang akin lang po may advice is once the program opens for application sa January 1, 2023, midnight pa lang, 12 midnight, January 1st, ay mag-submit na kayo. Dahil napakabilis pong mapuno ang ating quota. Napakabilis po. For this year, 2 weeks lang po yata nag-open. It was only open for 2 weeks and napuno na po agad. So, lahat po ng hindi nakapag-apply for 2022, I'm sure sa pag-open po ng program sa 2023 ay magsasubmit kaagad sila ng 12 midnight pa lang because mabilis nga po mapuno yung program. So that's it po sa ating presentation. I hope na nakatulong po ang ating presentation para malinawagan ng mga caregivers natin outside Canada kung ano po ba ang mga requirements na kinakailangan nila para pumunta sa Canada or mag-apply as caregivers in Canada. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, have a good day, everyone, and keep safe.